which oversees FEMA's rules. FEMA can only pay for that which was caused by a presidentially declared storm. So it has to come back to a storm. Is there anything that, I'm going to keep going back to the FEMA guy because I'd love to embarrass FEMA guys since I was formerly one of them. Any issues yet so far with what we said?
I think I've tracked you so far.
Okay. Because then people used to embarrass me when I was at FEMA, so I can do the same now. Yes?
Back to the DEC.
Oh yeah, we're coming back to the debris. So I just want to get people to get through the IA part.
By the way, Dan, is there anybody here from DEC?
I have no idea. Is there somebody here from DEC?
Is there somebody here from DEC?
Where are you?
Yeah.
Is there?
They're afraid.
DEC, DEP? I'll go for any of the Ds. Anybody from the press? I forget to ask that question. Anybody else from the press? All right. I always have to watch what I'm going to say if somebody's from the press. Okay, let's get to the streams of the debris. To remove the debris in the streams, we have to have all sorts of permit, and there's a bunch of general permits out there. There's a Corps of Engineers permit, which we got a copy of today, because you need a Corps of Engineers permit. Some parts you need a DEP permit, some parts you need Fish and Wildlife, some parts you need DEC. The generic permit that DEC has put out there, and Brian Drum, I believe, is your local DEC guy. Somebody hated more than FEMA. The generic permit actually allows for a lot of things to happen. I've heard, I don't know how many people tell me machinery can't go in the streams. That is not disallowed by the permit or from what I've seen in DC rules at this point. If you lay out a strategy and they approve the permit on site, basically what that generic permit allows is you lay out a strategy, what you're going to do, show them where you're going to do it. Brian can give a permit on the site to do that work. That will include potentially putting machinery in the stream to remove the debris. I can tell you right now from what I've seen, that debris is not coming out of those streams unless some kind of machinery can go in them to remove it. Is there anybody that disagrees with that? Because I don't know machines that can pull it from that far away and that unstable of a land without going into those streams. Yes? Does
having the permit that you're talking about mean having a piece of paper, or is it a verbal contract?
There is a generic permit in place till the end of next year,
okay.
September 2012, I believe. With that, it shortchanges their application process. They're still a paper application. You show Brian or whoever the representative from DEC what you're going to do. You fill out the form and write it in place. They have one right now for one of the roads projects that Jimmy did. So you still have to have the piece of paper in hand to do. We have one issue we have that we know, reading that permit, is I believe these streams are trout spawning areas.
Mm-hmm. They were. Yeah, they were.
As a person that's now watching trout spawn, I'm not going to determine whether it's still happening or not. That has to be done by November 30th per that permit. Any work being done in those streams, it doesn't say must, which, you know, you talk about legal words in a permit. It says should be done by the 30th of November. If we don't finish it by that date, you can't go in those streams again until June 15th. And all of you that are from the Catskills know there's going to be a heck of a lot of snow in the Catskills. There generally is, and there already was. And sometime around May, it's going to start getting warm for 3 or 4 days in a row. You're going to have another set of flooding if that debris stays in the streams. So we've had a lot of conversations with FEMA. I've had a lot of conversations with different folks at FEMA about that issue. We have to get that debris as much as possible out of those streams, or at least to this side of the embankment, to where we can work outside of November 30th very quickly. So in that process, we put out the RFP, which was won by a company called United Recovery Group. United Recovery Group is out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A company out of Mobile, Alabama called DRC Emergency Services came in second, and Deeds Tree Service out of New Paltz came in third. There was a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8 bidders were on it. There was a wide range. We had put on an evaluation based on what we knew amount of debris just to go apples to apples. So there was 34 line items. We set set amount of debris that may be removed in each line item. Just to give you a view of the wide range, I'm not going to give you all the bid tabulations, but the winner was about 1.9 million. The highest bid was about 43 million. So there was a pretty good swath in there. So, and it really came down, and I've had a lot of conversations with some of the people that bid, it came down with their view of the DEC permit and whether they could put machinery in those streams. My general view and my advice to this town is, you can't put machinery in the streams, you're not picking up the debris anyways. You're not going to remove the emergency. It's not worth the 12.5% to pick up the little bit that you can pick up. That's my personal opinion. You know, that's my professional opinion on what you have out there. Because there's too much in the middle, there's too many areas that you're not going to be able to get to. You're going to be left with the emergency. The only other way you're coming out, chainsaw crews, cutting it up and hoping it floats away in the next storm. But there's too many areas that you're going to have an issue. Yes?
I bid on it, and I called the DEC, and I called the gentleman that put the plan together, and said the town had not made an attempt to get any permits to get in the stream at that particular point when I was working the bid up.
Yep.
And said that you should bid it that way, that you would not be able to be in the stream. And I called DEC up, and they said that the town didn't make any applications. So that's why there was a big range. And when I went to get information about the bidding, it was real vague. Like there was already some people already lined up for it, like it was a total waste of time.
Absolutely not.
And then their numbers happened to come in just right there,
Just right where?
where the guesstimate was.
Actually, what's the guesstimate?
There was rumor that it was going to be around a $2 million job.
My guesstimate was between $2 and $5 million. That's the one I gave to the town.
So you think it could be done for $1.9 million without going in the stream?
Do I think it would be done for $1.9 million without going in the stream?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be done at all without going in the stream.
I just want to make that point clear. That's all I have to say.
You're obviously accusing us of something, so if you'd like to, please put it out
Accusing
there.
of misinformation.
We gave nobody any information. Everybody called me, I wouldn't give any information to. I can tell you that. I believe you called me also. And I gave nobody information on the bid because I refused to give anybody any information because it is a public bid, and I will refuse to do that for anybody. That being said, one was completely different. There was two national firms that bid on it. The team that came in second and the team that came in third were almost identical. One was national, one was local. The difference was the removing by linear foot. Everything else was pretty close. So, that being said, you know, I can't say how people are going to bid on it or not bid on it. DEC has no relevance on how the town's RFP was going to go. So, yes.
Quick question.
Yes.
If the Army Corps comes in and does the job, is there a certain responsibility for people to maintain what they did? Like owners? Let's say between the Bushkill and the Berger Road Bridge. Years ago they came in and dug that out. It was like an hour.
The Corps used to dig this up?
Well, years ago, 30 years ago, they came in and straightened everything out.
Yep.
And the DEP, you know, oh, don't touch that tree, and don't touch this fish, and don't move this rock, and, you know, pretty soon the thing is up level with the road.
Yep.
Is there a certain responsibility that they incur by not letting anybody maintain their
I can't answer that because that's truly a legal question, which I can't, or would I try to
What's
answer.
legal about it? It's either right or it's
I don't know. Well, I don't know what their legal right. I don't know because somebody, if I said DEP should have been digging that out.
Okay. No, not
Who knows
to
who's
put you
gonna
on the
take that
spot. I
information
mean,
to somewhere else.
we all watch the thing come
Yeah.
up, so it's road level.
Well, and you got
Years.
the secondary issue, and one FEMA brought up today, which is a lot of the land also is state road. That bridge as you go up past Town Hall that crosses over the stream.
County road, right?
It's county.
Yeah, county road. That's county road. They have a responsibility under that and all the debris that's associated with that bridge. So that coordination has to go on. Are they going to do it? Are they going to piggyback or be part of the contract? Towns
You know,
possibly
as
need.
that 30-year period has progressed, I mean, there's trees in the stream that weren't there. They're 10, 12 inches around.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody watched it and knew it was going to come to this. And now that it's here, I mean, do you go after DEP? Do you go after Trout Unlimited because they didn't want you touching anything? I mean,
I'm not going after anything. I understand the frustration, the concern.
in reality, it's inevitable. You know,
The
that
only
this is gonna
thing,
happen.
my personal opinion, and to the town board of supervisors,